What's up, people? I'm Shaggy, the Opinionated Hippie, and today I'd like to talk about, like to preview, like to get excited about, and maybe get you excited about the latest Zappa release that has just been announced a couple days ago on Zappa.com. It is not on their splash page yet, interestingly enough. It's only been 3 days after they announced it when I'm recording this. So you do have to go to Zappa.com, then you have to click on the store link to find the information about this release. And it is Whisky A Go-Go 1968. There's a 5 LP edition, there's a 3 CD edition, there's a 2 LP highlights edition, there's some t-shirts for sale, but all that's out there. But I'm really just going to talk about the music in whatever format it comes in. So we get a complete show from the Whisky A Go-Go in Southern California, North Hollywood. And it is from 1968, 3 CDs for the entire thing. And it's an interesting release. I don't have a complaint. I am super excited about this release. On my short list of things I wanted released from the Zappa Family Trust, it was a complete Mother's 60 show. We're getting that. Still looking for that Bongo Fury show, if they have it in the vaults. 82 set, maybe an Italian 82 run, maybe like a 6 CD box set, 3 Italian shows. Halloween 78, of course, and Winter 77. I'm interested in a release from there. That was my 5. Those are my main 5. And one of those is now being checked off. But this was interesting because, and this is my minor complaint, is there are a number of tracks on here that have been previously released, which is fine. I don't have an issue with that. So you can go, and I will tell you what those are in a couple minutes, if you want to go and seek those out and get a taste of, at least musically, what this would be like. The music there are new mixes, so the music is probably going to sound better on those than on those previous releases. Plus, we do have a taste of that. They dropped one of the Duke tracks on streaming. I think you can also listen to it on Zappa.com. And that thing is fantastic, both sonically fantastic. Frank's guitar playing is fantastic. The tone of Frank's guitar is fantastic. The entire thing is amazing. Like, if you weren't excited about the release, check out the track that they've dropped. And I don't know how that wouldn't get you excited. Then you look at the set list and you're like, yeah, of course I'm excited. But my complaint is my understanding of this is that this show was announced as like a recording session. Like it was a concert open to the public, but Frank went into the show with the intent to release the material as an album. And that intent was so prevalent that at one point they played the Duke twice. Take 1, take 2. That's why there's 2 takes on here. Haven't heard it. I don't know if Frank gives an explanation. I'm sure he does. Frank liked to talk. But that's why we get 2 versions of that. There's a King 1, but that's a part 1. King Kong, but that's a part 1, part 2. So who knows? That's probably a jam. But that's why there's 2 versions of the Duke, because apparently Frank wanted a different version or a better version or a cleaner version or who knows. A version with less wrong notes. I don't know. I haven't heard both versions yet. But that's my only complaint is, yeah, it's a complete live show, but it's also like a Baby Snakes type live show where there's, recording and Frank knows it's for posterity. And so maybe Frank is doing things a little bit differently. And I am one of those people who I've heard enough albums over the years from bands who will tour for an entire tour, then maybe they'll start a tour, end a tour with like a recording session. Yes does this all the time, where we're going to record this for a live album. For bands like Yes, those things are probably not that much different because really the improv is not as extreme. But I don't like it when bands like The Dead did it for like an 80 when they recorded all those shows for those albums, though they did edit those. Or even with Frank, I feel like the mindset is different, knowing that you're going to record it for posterity. It's posterity. And I want one of those warts and all performances, like that Zappa Erie box set, that middle show, which was just a mess. That's the kind of stuff I like. But still, that's a stupid little complaint. I'm super excited about this. If you're on the fence about whether to get this, you can go check out there, I think, 7 tracks that we've already been released. Uncle Meat, the God Bless America, live at the Whisky A Go-Go. On You Can't Do That on Stage, Volume 5, the track Meow, which is, what, minutes long? It's pretty short. That is from here. How long is Meow? 1 minute and 23 seconds. That is from You Can't Do That on Stage, Volume 5, the first disc. We have a bunch of stuff that is on Meat Light, Whiskey Wah, and The Whip are both from the Meat Light release, which was sort of the Project Object version of Uncle Meat. And then from the Frank Zappa movie, the Zappa movie soundtrack, whatever that was officially called, the Zappa movie original soundtrack album, had a silly name. Memories of El Monte, Oh in the Sky, and The Duke. Don't know which version of The Duke. Don't know if it's 1 or 2. I think it's the first version, because Frank does say before that, he does say something about how we're going to attempt to record this. So I'm assuming it's the first version. Yeah, it is the first version. So anyways, yes, you got some stuff that's already been released. Go check those things out. And that should definitely wet your whistle for what I think is going to be a fantastic release. Here's what you get on these 3 CDs. Okay, since you're here watching this and you have a couple extra minutes, let me run through it. Whiskey Improvisation, Episode 1. Who knows what that's going to be like. America Drinks and Goes Home. Fantastic. Help I'm a Rock and a Transylvania Boogie. Always awesome. Great guitar playing, great guitar solos. Help I'm a Rock is a classic. My Boyfriend's Back. Something called Bust His Head. Tiny Sick Tears Jam, which apparently is pretty epic. Frank Talking, The Purpose of This Evening. Probably when he explains what's happening. Whiskey Improvisation, Episode 2. Status Back Baby, and then we get the Memories of El Monte, Oh in the Sky, and we get a Valerie closing out Disc 1. Disc 2, get some fun and merriment, in quotation, which means Frank probably says that at some point. Got a Hungry Freaks Daddy, got a 2-part King Kong, Octandre, the Varese song, which the Mothers did. You can hear that on a really, really fantastic version of that on Road Tapes. Volume 2, I believe it is, right? Volume 1. One of the Road Tapes has that. Is it called Road Tapes? Now I'm missing the Dead Zappa up. I think it's on Road Tapes. It's not Road Cases. We get Meow, that Stage 5 track. God Bless America, Uncle Me track. Presentation of Wings, no idea. Plastic People, Della's Preamble, no idea. We get the Couple Dukes. We get Khaki Sack. Which we got released on Funky Nothingness, right? We had Khaki Sack on that. So this is a live version of that, apparently. Then Disc 3, we get The Whip, which we've had, at least a version of that. Whiskey Soufflé, which I'm going to assume might be Whiskey Wah, the track from Meat Light. Frank just changed the name for this. We get a Brown Shoes Don't Make It. We get a Brown Shoe Shuffle. Maybe there's a Brown Shoes Jam that goes on here. That's kind of exciting. We get Continued, some bonus vintage mixes. We get The Whip, an FZ mix. And then we get a Hungry Freaks Daddy, a FC mono mix. Probably intended for other things, and they'd already been mixed and are laying around. I'm assuming, obviously, since Frank's no longer around to mix them. But personally, I'm excited. Can't beat the price, $10 a disc. Comes out the longest day of the year, June 21st. I think that's when it's going to be shipped. Who knows when we get it. They don't have a really good history of shipping things in a timely manner. But at least it's the longest day of the year, so they have a lot of time to ship it. But yeah, I'm excited about it. It is the complete 1968 show I, for one, have been wishing for. Not one who prays, but if I did, I would pray for it. So yeah. It's got liner notes by Travers, Pamela DeBars, interview with Ahmet. Apparently Alice Cooper is in the interview. Yeah, so I'm excited. I recommend this. I think this is going to be a fantastic release. The sound quality of what they've dropped so far on streaming media, that Duke track is fantastic. Frank's guitar playing is fantastic on that. Everything about that. I recommend this. I'm sure there are people out there who maybe know more about this, know what's coming. I don't believe I had a bootleg of this show. All my cassettes are under my bed. I'm about to go check that out. I don't think I have a boot of this show floating around out there. I'm going to see if I can find one. And if I do, maybe I'll give it a listen. But I don't think the show was bootlegged. But I don't know. If you have a tape of this and you've heard it and you got more information, please drop it in the comments. Let us know. Because I'm sure this sounds better than those boots and it's going to be worth getting anyway. But yeah, you can pre-order now. Zappa.com. Go to store. They're not paying me anything. I'm just doing it because I know it's going to be great music. I want to spread the love. Good release, guys. I'm excited about this. I'll be back to talk about this in a couple months. I'll be back to talk about other things tomorrow or the next day. But yeah. Yeah, let me know your thoughts, your anticipation. Yeah, you know, all that stuff. If you have information, if you've heard some of the stuff I haven't, please let me know. Things I messed up, all that. But yeah, I'm excited. All right. That's all I got. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, share, comment, do all those things. Just go listen to Frank Zappa. Just cuz. He's great. All right. Peace. Talk to you later.